Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We got strange news here and some strange developments. You see, necessity makes us act and sometimes innovate or invent stuff or simply show who we really are. So this article comes from my friends from Reuters and it's from today, August 10th, 2022. You wouldn't believe it. Russian oil pipeline flows set to resume after Hungary settles transit bill. So I don't know if you're familiar with the situation. Russia, in order to send oil to Europe, obviously has a pipeline and transits certain countries. One of these countries is Ukraine. When the providers of oil, which is a Russian company, when Rosneft, I think it is, when they tried to send it, you pay money for the transit. So I'm going to send this through your country, I'm going to pay for the transit, but you have to do it through certain channels. Now, due to the sanctions, these guys from Rosneft, or I think it is, we'll find out in a minute, they have to make a payment through all these banks and follow the procedures. The problem is the sanctions bar them from doing certain payments. So they were not able to pay for the transit of oil through Ukraine somehow. And the Ukraine turned it off. It said you can't go through our, you can't transit. You didn't pay the transit. Then the most dependable, the country who depends most on Russian oil here is Hungary, because this Druzhba pipeline, it's a southern one which goes to Hungary, Czech Republic and Slovakia. The other one that goes north to Germany and Poland is A-OK. Somehow the payments went through. Surprise, surprise. So then Hungary paid the bill the Russians had to pay. So I don't know how that occurs. The Russians paid the Hungarian companies, not Hungarian government, I think, paid in the name of the Russian company, the Rosneft, I think it is. Let's see. So Budapest, Russian oil flows halted to parts of Europe should resume after Hungarian group MOL, M-O-L, that's their oil and energy company, paid transit fees owed to Ukraine, officials and ministers said, providing a temporary solution to the latest disruption of Russian energy supplies. Russian state-owned news agency RIA reported the pipeline monopoly Transneft, not Rosneft, Transneft, planned to resume oil pumping through the southern branch of the Druzhba or Friendship. So through the Friendship pipeline, the Friendship pipeline was closed. No more friends there. So the southern branch of the Druzhba or Friendship pipeline at 1600 Moscow town, which is 4 o'clock. On Tuesday, Transneft said Russian oil pipeline flows have been suspended to parts of Central Europe since August 4th because Western sanctions prevented the payment of transit fees from Moscow to Ukraine. The suspension drove up oil prices, which have already surged along with those of other forms of energy, as Russia's invasion of Ukraine has raised concerns of shortages, especially in Europe, which depends on Russian fuel. On Wednesday, prices fell after the news that Druzhba pipeline flows would resume, and also on expectations of weaker demand. Central European countries, including Hungary, are especially reliant on Russian energy, and Hungary has criticized European Union sanctions against Moscow. MOL, M-O-L, said on Wednesday it has transferred the transit fee for the use of the Ukrainian section of the pipeline, which is provided a swift solution. It said it provided a swift solution. It said in a statement that halt had happened, and I'm quoting, due to technical issues emerging on the banking front. These banks became more important than the businesses who actually create the wealth that the banks are using. Isn't it unbelievable? It's like you have, I don't know, a shovel, and somehow the shovel is more important than you. Because without a shovel, you can't dig the holes with a shovel, but you can probably use something else to dig a hole. But all of a sudden, the shovel tells me, the human being, hey, you gotta massage me every morning, 5 minutes. Oh, you gotta paint me in this color. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. What the hell? I throw in the garbage and I'm gonna find something else. I'm gonna go back to my regular whatever, or my digging stuff. But all of a sudden, the banks, not all of a sudden, it was a creeping thing. The banks are more important than the producers. So if the producers don't give them money, people don't give them money, the banks are zero. The banks are in an intermediary. It's a means, it's a medium. I do not like banks. Does it show? All right. So it said in a statement that the banking front. MOL's Slovak subsidiary, Slovnaft, also made a payment to allow the resumption of flows to Slovakia, Slovnaft said. Temporary fix. Slovak Economy Minister Richard Sulik told the news conference that payment by Slovnaft was a solution for the month of August after a Western bank had refused to process the transit fee payment made by Russia to Ukraine. Where is that, the briefcase thing? We don't have briefcases anymore. You go over there, bam, bam, open it, turn it around, good enough? Okay, clonk, gim, yours. No, now the banking, wire transferred. And the money is not even backed by gold or anything. Yeah, and this is just for August. But guess what? Winter is coming. I'm sorry to break the news. Ukraine has said oil flows through the southern leg of Druzhba pipeline will resume later on Wednesday, if it receives the substitute payment, Sulich said. And I'm quoting, I would not see any additional political context behind this because there isn't any. You think so? The weasels are going to come out. We're going to make out and say, it's a Wednesday, it's the 10th of August. I think the temperature, the wind is good, but it's not strong enough. So no transfer today because we're the banks. We tell you. You can knock at the banks and say, bank, let me withdraw my money. Oh, you bank, let me withdraw my money. And what happens to the bank? Oh, go bust. Bellied up. I would not see an additional. Yeah, they're going to make up additional. Simply, there was a technical failure or incorrect assessment. Such glitches happen, he said. It was not a glitch. It was not an incorrect assessment. You'll see. And I'm quoting, my Ukrainian colleagues, energy minister, assured me today that if the money arrives, oil will flow today. So they have to talk with the... Yeah, I expect the oil will start flowing in coming hours. So this is what? The minister of Slovakia. Remember, Slovakia provided Ukraine with some tanks, and I think they wanted to provide MiG-29 or something, and they provided, a free transfer of this and that and that. Yeah, these guys have to beg those guys, the Ukrainians, allow us to have some oil from Russia. Some weasels. Yeah. He said the payment issue was a surprise, as Slovakia was under the impression that if oil imports are allowed under European Union sanctions against Russia, payments for transit were also allowed, he said in a statement. He said that the government was looking into the issue. Yeah, the suspension of pipeline flows has hit countries including Hungary, Slovakia and Czech Republic. This is it. So we'll see what's going on. Are you going to do something? Yeah, you're going to pay for the Russians. But I wonder how that happened. The Russians spoke with a MOL, and the MOL paid. How did they interact with money? Who's paying what? What banks did they use? Direct? I don't think it matters at this point. My problem is with this, when I see the Ukrainians who are not right now, in the past 6 months, they were asking for everything from everybody, because they're the victims, they're the poor, the leadership I'm talking of Ukraine. They could not do any favors to anybody. Nothing. Business is business, man. We were serious about it. And then gets me to the turbine from Canada. Remember when Zelensky asked the communist Trudeau up north to don't allow Siemens to fix the turbine for the Nord Stream pipeline 1 so the gas cannot flow from Russia to to German people, no, no, don't do that. And the Germans help them. It's unbelievable. But well, if the German people are still okay with that, then less showers, no electricity, buy some heavy coats and good luck this winter. Call me. I have some room here. I'm about 50 people I can accommodate. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.